I'm continuing my search for excellent Lightroom alternatives, and if you watched the video a couple of months ago, I covered DxO Photolab. I'm going to show you a new product from the same company, which is called Nik Collection, and we're up to Nik Collection 9 now, which has only just come out. If you use DxO Photolab, Photoshop, or Lightroom, or you can use it standalone, this is a great Lightroom alternative, and I'm really impressed with the photo editing capabilities. DxO have kindly sent me the software to check out, but as always, all thoughts are my own. So I'm going to start off with this one in DxO Photolab. This is my photo of choice. And to open it in the Nik Collection, I just have to press the button down here and then choose. Now, the Nik Collection has tons of apps. You have Nikon 9 Silver effects, which is brilliant for doing grayscale and monochrome images. Got analog effects, there's a load. My favorite one by a mile, and the one that I'm going to cover in depth today, is Nik 9 Color effects. So I'm just going to click on that one. So it's going to convert that raw file, which is from the Olympus PL9 when I shot this in Cape Town, and turn it into a TIFF. Much like when you take a photo from Lightroom to Photoshop, it converts it into a TIFF and then brings it back into each software. So this turns it into a TIFF. And this is Nik 9 Color effects, and you open it with a before and after already there. So I'm going to swipe all of that to the left so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. Now, spoiler, here is the custom effect that I'm going to show you today. I blooming love it. Okay, before, after, it's got that lovely soft vintagey look. Absolutely love it. So I'm going to remove that. So if you like the look of that, I'll show you how to do it. So here we have, on the left, we have presets, which I'm not a fan of. The built-in presets are a little bit Instagram 2012, but don't worry, there's so much more to the software than that. What you want to do is come down to filters. And here you have a ton of blooming options. It's actually overwhelming, to be honest. I've been working my way through, as you can see, and I've been favoriting my favorites so they're easier to find. A great place to start, particularly if you're looking for a filmic look, is Film Effects Modern Branded. And to add this into your workflow, all you need to do is find it in the list and then press plus. So if you're after the film look, in here we have a drop-down menu of all of the classic film looks. And you know what? They're pretty blooming gorgeous, to be honest. I'm a big fan of Kodak Gold. Very nice. I really like the look of that, and you can customize all of these as well. But I think the one that I like for this one is this one, which is Fuji Chrome Sensia 200. So before and after. I like this one because you've got lots of crunch, and I think it makes the bike look really cool. But I do think it's a little bit strong. So what you can do is once you've picked it, you can change all the colors, the curves and everything, but you just go to this one at the top and you can turn the opacity down to make it a little bit less intense. So I'm going to go for like 50%. Has a nice crunch to it, but it's not over the top. One thing I don't like too much about this is a sunset shot. So I really want to pull out all of the sunset and warm tones. So to get a baseline for that, I'm going to go with brilliance and warmth. And again, we just press the plus. The other thing you can do here is in the drop-down menu, you can just add in like pre-made presets. So if you want to just like look and see, you know, get yourself an idea of where you want it to go, you can use that. But I like to press plus and add it into my workflow here. And that's just dropped it over here at the bottom beneath the last thing that I pulled in. So literally nothing fancy. I'm just going to pull up the warmth. So we've got a bit more of the sunset tones. And then there's a cool slider here called perceptual saturation. And I had to Google what this is, to be honest. I've never heard it before. But what it is supposed to do is it's a smart, vibrant slider that saturates things in quite a natural way and makes the colors cohesive. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in, just a little bit. And then you can also toggle off with these buttons, and it'll only toggle off the effect that we've just applied. So I might actually add a bit more warmth there. And then you've got the full before and after here on the slider. So that's where we started, and this is where we're at. Not bad, not bad, not bad, but not there yet. There's a running joke in the wedding industry, this is going back to my wedding photographer days, where we went through a phase of muting the greens and making them look quite sort of dead and autumnal. And that's a habit that I haven't managed to like kick. I actually think that bold greens in my edits personally, are quite distracting. So I was very happy to find this one called Indian Summer. And look what it does, it automatically kills the greens. I blooming love it. Now, I think that's over the top, obviously. We didn't have sunset on Mars, but you have sort of different effects. So, you know, you've got very, very, very red, which is very over the top. But number 3 is quite a nice middle ground. So that was the original green. And this has just softened it up a little bit. And now I just think making the greens a little bit warmer in this instance makes the whole thing a bit more cohesive. I like it very much. So I like where we're at so far, but I think we can push the warmer sunset tones even more. And one tool in here which is great for that is sunlight. So I'm going to add that in next. And I've become a sucker for this like soft glow. I've been using lots of mist filters in camera and I just think it's great. I think obviously you can go too far with it, so we don't want to go too far with this, but I do love this effect. So even on full, it's a bit over the top, don't get me wrong, but I do like the effect of this. And if we can control it and harness it and use it in a sprinkling, then it's going to look really good. I'm going to literally half it, I think, knock it down to around 50%. So that's before and that's after. And I just think that little bit of softness just goes a long way. I particularly love it on like the seat of the bike and sort of the foam in the background. Like the original looks so dull in comparison now with how far we've come. Like if you look at the bike and the water, I think the sunlight one just makes everything sing. Makes it look so dreamy. And I'm a sucker for that. So I think we're like 99% of the way there. I just want to play with the exposure and contrast a little bit. And the way that I like to do that in pretty much all editing softwares is using levels and curves. So I'm going to add that one in. And the best practice in general is to just stick 3 dots here. You've got one for your highlights, one for your midtones, and one for your shadows. And that way it doesn't all go crazy if you accidentally press something that you shouldn't. And if you do press something that you shouldn't, you can reset it. So 3 dots. And I think if you lift up the bottom, we get a faded look, which I think is probably a bit over the top. And if we pull down the top, we make sure that nothing's peaking, but nothing's peaking to begin with. So I'm going to raise the midtones a bit, add a little bit of crunch. You can see the difference. I quite like that. Bit more highlights. Maybe a bit in the highlights. Go on, let's be cheeky. Yeah, it's just giving it a nice little boost, hasn't it? So there we go. At this point, we have the before and after. Before and after. And I love this. And I'm going to save this and show you what it looks like on some other photos that I took from that day. So to save the preset, we just go to save at the bottom. And then we can make a name. And in the categories at the top, we just go to custom and then presets and it's there, which is lovely. So what if we want to add that exact preset onto some other photos that I took on this day? So what about this one? We go to Nik Collection, color effects. We can go to custom, we can go to presets, and then we can find the one that we just did. There's the before. There's the after. I literally don't think I need to change a single thing about that. I love it. So just like with DxO Photo Labs 9, the Nik Collection is a buy it once and you own it sort of thing. So there's no nasty monthly payments, which I love. And I do have a discount code in the description if you would like to check it out. And also, as I've said, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 apps in this collection, and I've just shown you one of them. So there's plenty more to explore. So here is a quick fire round of some new features in Nik Collection 9. There's new intelligent depth masks, AI masks, and an entire color grading suite so you can really dial in the exact look you want. Have a look on the DxO website to check out some of the others. And if you want to see the DxO noise reduction in action, check out my video from 2 months ago because it absolutely blew my mind.